It's the 17th day of August 2023. Welcome to the morning bulletin here on your best experience. My name is Obed Gaglo. The headlines in a bit. Dr. Ifriya Kuto spits fire as he accuses party of condoning indiscipline in the run-up of the presidential primaries of the governing MPP. Also ahead, National Labour Commission directs government to implement fully its agreement with the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana. And in business, National Petroleum Authority says all relevant stakeholder meetings have been consulted ahead of the reintroduction of the cylinder recirculation program. We have details of these and many other stories coming up. Please stay with us. Thank you very much for choosing us this morning. Now to our first story. It was an interesting sight to behold at Nima in the Ayawaso East municipality when a yet-to-be-identified spiritualist was arrested by the police during a demolition exercise near the runabout to pave way for a district hospital under the Agenda 111 program. The suspects, who came in with some morale, accompanied by some youth of the area, tried to stop the exercise with incantations, was arrested by the police. Let's look at what's ensued. Meanwhile, some residents of Nima are unhappy with the decision of the assembly to demolish some structures for the construction of a hospital under the Agenda 111 project. Here are some residents speaking to GH1 TV.
Liberia for no, Mama Sassi free Omutinam, Ghana for no, share idea Ekosu, and Kamuka so, and that's it, Omu Bantino, Yabo, and I pack in Yamakrapa, Yabetu Amasia, your own man, Omubeskatan in Yamano, Omubua, 30 years now, and this unfortunate thing hasn't happened unless just recently, about 2 weeks ago, and we get the alarm that the woman is coming to UCS for Agenda 111, which we don't understand it, because this is a Nima government hospital, and we get Mamobi Polyclinic there, Rich Hospital 2 is there, 37 is there. So we need Nima people. Are we all that sick? We are sick. Are you aware that we need a lot of hospitals here? This is just a runabout for you. Salama, that MC that they talk. What be the name self? This the runabout only just plant flowers. You can't plant flowers, but here you can do one Agenda 111. What is the meaning of this thing? I don't understand Kufwado. He stay here with us and he know what Nima people can do. So the people have been sober and they are doing their apprenticeship and this thing. They are learning trade, and we want them to do what? Already Nima people have been tagged as armed robbers and criminals, and now we people are working. And we say what we don't want to ask to work. So what do you want us to do?
This facility that we are using, the hospital itself, how many people do come there? How many people? There's a lot of beds inside. How many people come and then be lying down over there? You see, now how many doctors do you have in this hospital too? It's only one doctor who left and then they brought in another doctor. That's it. The facility is not helping us. Even if the facility is helping us, it's only maybe 50 to 20%, not up to even 50%.
Now, away from that, the National Labour Commission has directed government to implement fully the agreed terms of the conditions of service with the Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG. This was disclosed at a meeting held between government, CTAG, and the Labour Commission, who emphasized that CTAG should only call off the strike when they receive an official letter from government that their demands have been implemented.
They have been directed to implement fully what the Commission's directive were, as in the payment of the monies that are due them, that which is almost done, but with the leave The directive has to leave. They have been directed to, by close of day today, they must issue letters to the principals of all the colleges to implement it.
The Executive Secretary for the National Labour Commission, Ofusu Asamoah, however, clarified that SITAG's decision to embark on a strike is not illegal.
It cannot be illegal because, it's like it's a reaction to the actions of the complainant. What they have done was the payment of the allowance part, which finance has given release. Controller is worked on it. Is going to be part of their salary this month.
The National Vice President of SITAG, John Newton Kumi, who spoke to the news team after the meeting, emphasized that until government meets up with their demands, they will not back down from the strike.
As it is now, we are still on strike. We want to see evidence. If you are telling me what I'm owing you, I'm going to pay it in August. I want evidence to show that, yes, when August salary drops, I will see that payment. And if you are in a way saying that maybe this one will be delayed, let me see what you are saying, and I'll see if I can agree or not.
The strike, which began on August 1, 2023, has had a severe impact on academic work in colleges of education across the country, a situation the leadership of SITAG says they are unhappy about.
We are just pleading that the complainant, who is the employer, who is the government, must comply with the orders of the NLC and with the new directive they are adding to it now. Either to that, they should have gone to the higher court to compel the employer to do the needful. But in their wisdom, they think for today's meeting, they are asking them, they are giving them more room again for them to do the correct thing, and by making sure that they comply with the order and give them a copy, through them, then we receive ours and we can communicate.
The Colleges of Education Teachers Association of Ghana and government are expected to meet with the National Labour Commission again on August 30, 2023, by which time the government is expected to implement the agreed conditions of service.
Still on issues of labour, concerned former employees of defunct GN Savings and Loans Limited are calling on the Akufo-Addo government to restore the bank's license to complement efforts of creating sustainable jobs. GN Bank, which was under the Group Indum brand, lost its operational license after it was reclassified as Savings and Loans firm in 2019. Speaking at a press conference in Accra to commemorate 4 years of the bank's revocation, the former Eastern Regional Manager of the defunct bank, Kofi Posu, lamented that the decision of the Bank of Ghana has negatively impacted livelihoods of over 3,000 households.
Ladies and gentlemen, the revocation of GN Savings operating license has created serious problems with diverse effects on employees, customers, the economy of Ghana, assets of the bank, and businesses. Some of these effects are explained below. Life after the revocation of GN license has been terrible nightmare for majority of the employees. Most ex-staff have remained jobless as a result of the limited job opportunities in the country. The revocation of the license has had an adverse effect on our pensions. Majority of the ex-employees are unable to make contributions towards their pensions for the last 4 years since revocation. We are enduring precarious living conditions. As breadwinners, we are unable to feed our families and afford to pay school fees of our children. Landlords have rejected many of us from our homes for our inability to pay rent. We therefore passionately appeal to the President of the Republic to intervene by using his executive powers to urge the Governor of Bank of Ghana to restore the operating license of GN Savings. Such an action would be a worthy restitution of the lost opportunities to the employees, customers, shareholders, and the business community.
Let's talk some politics as flag bearer aspirant of the governing MPP, Dr. Akoto, wants the party to crack the whip on leading members who are endorsing aspirants ahead of the presidential primaries. Dr. Akoto, who was speaking on an Accra-based radio station, says the party should deal with leaders who engage in endorsing aspirants as it does not promote discipline in the party. He's also unhappy with what he says is the government's alleged refusal to pay some contractors due to their support for other candidates.
It really tells you that there's no discipline in the party. What is going on is a classic example where people are publicly campaigning, high party officials are campaigning for one candidate against the instructions, the regulations of the party, and they know that nobody will say boo to them. We can't. Any institution cannot live without discipline.
You think people should endorse aspirants ahead of the elections?
No, but I mean, that is wrong. It is not in our constitution. Somebody sitting somewhere can say endorse, but not a chairman of a party. And it's become free for all. And they know that nothing will happen to them. And yet, the people who have been chosen to manage this party have the authority to actually punish people for going against the rules and regulations. And they are not cracking the whip. And so everybody is doing whatever they want. This is a very dangerous path. All those people making public pronouncements, they happen to be high government officials.
Right, cabinet ministers, ministers, party chairmen.
So what happens if that candidate does not win? Because what they are doing is really egging the rest of the contestants and the country, and people feel very strongly that it is a misconduct for them to go the way they are going. And there's some kind of force being used, intimidation. I mean, I receive complaints on my trips. Those contractors who are not seen to be for this candidate, they are not paid. When they completed their jobs, and they've taken huge sums of money from the banks, and the interest rates are 35, 50, 40%, and they're being punished for just saying
supporting somebody else.
Exactly. So well, I don't know about executive whip. I don't know what an executive whip is. But if somebody has done a job, a contract with the government, and they are not paid, why others who declare for the particular candidates are paid?
Who is this candidate?
These are people in the party who have benefited, and the government who have benefited from the sweat of the party, because the party which wins as power in 2016 for us to form a government in 2017. And it's even worse than between NDC and MPP. They are aware. I mean, some of these chairmen are, without any reason, they are suspending other constituency chairmen, regional chairmen suspending constituency chairmen because they don't support their candidate and all of that. It comes to their attention. Petitions are flowing into headquarters and all of that.
5 parts of German South and Wenchi municipalities in the Bono region have been used as dumping sites, have been earmarked for clearing. The sites, which cover a total over 4 plots of land, have been linked to the prevalence of cholera in the area. Zoom Lion Ghana, in collaboration with the Ministry of Sanitation, has embarked on an exercise to evacuate these sites, which have existed for over 6 decades. Edith Imbori reports.
In Ghana, over 12,000 tons of solid waste is generated daily. However, only 10% is collected and disposed of. A major challenge in the management of solid waste in Ghana is the collection and disposal process, which is labour-intensive and often not effective, leading to the creation of unsightly rubbish dumps. It is in line with this that Zoom Lion Ghana, the German South Municipal Assembly and the Wenchi Municipal Assembly have joined forces to clear all dump sites in the centre of the municipalities as they pose a health threat to residents. Residents of Drobo, who spoke to GH1 News, say that the closeness of a dumping site near their houses could have them contract cholera on a regular basis.
We are praying that after this, the MC will come to our aid with a collaboration with the government so that they can come and also evacuate the Supra and Ahembokwano Ebola. As I said, this Ebola is as old as Adam. 60 years when we were children, we played on this refuge dam. But today, thanks to the effort that we have made, the Bola finally is being evacuated.
Nana Asari Kontimaku, Eduana Hine of Japekrum, explains that the dumping site has been there for years, posing a great danger to residents.
Nti saa anamon we a yewura Andrews Bediako na assemblyman na amo atru no eyade a ye ni jiho kese.
The Jaman South MCE Andrews Bediako, for his part, said after the place is cleared, the assembly will place waste bins and refuse containers for residents to dump and pay a token for the maintenance of the place.
Initially, our area was a district, but now we are a municipal. Therefore, when you get to a municipal, the challenges become enormous, and they have to increase the containers that we have in the municipality. And they have agreed that they will do that. I hope when we put it here and educate the people they need for them to dump, even we will create what we call pay as you dump. And I think when we are able to educate the people, when we sensitize them enough, I think they will comply. They are human beings that I believe in education. If we do that, definitely that's the problem that we have in this area will be a thing of the past.
The clearing of the first dump site is expected to take place in 7 days, followed by the others.
Acting Vice-Chancellor of the Regional Maritime University, Dr. Jethro Brooks Jr., has urged professionals to be fearless and take up leadership roles as they step up into the world of life. Over 400 graduating students of the Regional Maritime University have also been advised to ensure that their time spent with the university become beneficial to society and their respective countries as a whole. There's more in the following report.
Acting Vice-Chancellor of the RMU, Dr. Jethro W. Brooks Jr., who was addressing the 17th congregation of the RMU, said they should be courageous and assume leadership roles.
Do not be afraid to take up leadership roles. Be courageous and take your chance when it comes. Push yourself to become the person you want to be. And above all, do not stop reading, because successful people never stop learning. Always remember these advices from Warren Buffett, one of the world's renowned billionaires. And I quote that: fear is the most contagious disease you can imagine. But he also said, someone sitting in a shade today because someone planted a tree long ago.
The special guest of honor and Minister of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology of the Republic of Gambia, Professor Pierre Gomez, acknowledged the RMU's leadership position for the integration of African resources towards sustainable growth.
We look forward to you bringing the knowledge and skills you have acquired during your study here to bear in the economy of your respective countries and the concern of your communities. We all hope you will contribute your utmost efforts towards making life better for your fellow citizens. In essence, now is the time for you to go out and serve. Serve yourself, serve your family, and serve your people. Your nation is calling.
Some veterans, said to be the pioneers of the class of 1956 of the then Ghana Nautical College, now RMU, were awarded. The RMU, which marks its 65th anniversary of the establishment of the then Ghana Nautical College, is now into 40 years of its regionalization in 1983, which brought on board the Republic of Cameroon, the Gambia, Liberia, and Sierra Leone.
The Ghanaian government allocated over 80 billion Ghana cedis towards achieving sustainable development goals in 2022. While this is a noteworthy achievement, it recognizes the ongoing need for collaborated efforts to bridge the gap towards the comprehensive $522.3 billion financing required to meet the target. Here is a report.
The Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, are a global framework comprising 17 interconnected goals aimed at addressing pressing social, economic, and environmental challenges by 2030. Despite facing challenges that could hinder these endeavors, Ghana remains steadfast in its pursuit of the global goals by 2030. Government in 2022 made noteworthy enhancements in budget allocations and spending, particularly in education, zero hunger, work and economic growth. Speaking at the launch of the 2022 Sustainable Development Goals Budget and Expenditure Report, Director of Budget Division at the Ministry of Finance, Thomas Appiagyei, called for self-reflection and collective action to propel the SDGs.
As we navigate the content of this report, let us take a moment to reflect on the interwoven responsibilities that we all share. Our collective actions, both as individuals and as a society, are integral to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. It is a journey that requires collaboration, innovation, and relentless pursuit of positive change.
Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Dr. Amin Adam, urges thorough scrutiny of the report, accompanied by purposeful dialogues to recalibrate strategies for SDG achievements.
Through this report, we gain valuable insights into our progress, challenges, and the steps we must take to accelerate our efforts. Let us use the insights gained from this report to inform our decision-making, prioritize our actions, and redouble our efforts. Together, we can create a future where no one is left behind, where our economy thrives, and where our people flourish, and where our environment, above all, is sustained for generations to come.
UNICEF country representative Osama Makawi Kogali congratulated Ghana on efforts made and urged much emphasis as we near the year 2030.
As we launch Ghana's 2022 SDG budget report today, let us ask ourselves whether the expenditure and investments we are making are strategic. Are they prioritizing the most vulnerable? Are they efficient, good value for money, yet quality and effective? And importantly, do these investments and expenditure reflect the future we want for our children and Ghana also?
With only 7 years remaining to reach Agenda 2030, the Ghanaian government is resolutely committed to employing assertive strategies for sustainable financing to realize the SDGs. The government also plans to evaluate the impact of these investments through forthcoming reports, ensuring substantial progress towards the SDGs.
The National Petroleum Authority has revealed that adequate stakeholder engagement have been exhausted to enable smooth running of the cylinder recirculation model expected to commence in September 2023. The cylinder recirculation model was first announced to be implemented in 2017 but was met with stiff opposition from tanker drivers and other vendors along the value chain. Speaking on GHToday, head of gas at the National Petroleum Authority in charge of commercial regulation, Obed said the necessary engagement have been done to allay the fears of various stakeholders to give the green light.
The Ministry of Energy in policy preparation process engages stakeholders as much as possible. So even the policy that brought about the cylinder recirculation model, being the National LPG Promotion Policy, when we were preparing it, we consulted all of these stakeholders. Again, when Cabinet directed the NPA to implement the cylinder recirculation model, we set up an implementation committee which came up with the framework. Again, they were part of this committee. And when I say they, it includes the Association of the LPG Marketing Companies, the Chamber of Bulk Distribution Companies, the Association of Oil Marketing Companies, the Ghana Tanker Drivers Union, and all the other relevant stakeholders, even civil society organizations, representatives from Parliament as well. And so it was an extensive stakeholder group that prepared the framework.
Right.
Now that means we prepared the framework such that it takes recognition of what we have in place and that we are not dumping a model from elsewhere. And so we took into consideration most of what we have in place. And for us as a regulator, it is important that we use the existing stakeholders or the existing actors in the value chain and the existing infrastructure.
And this is where we wrap up this morning's bulletin. My name is Obed King Gaglo. Grateful for your time. GHToday continues with Lantan Papanko.